In the previous module, we talked about local, international, historical tourism, geographic, and health tourism. Today, we will first learn about agrotourism. I don't know how many of you have heard about agrotourism. Agro or agri-tourism is one of the fastest developing trends in India, especially in Maharashtra. This kind of tourism is especially meant for urban population. So what do they do in agrotourism? In agrotourism, tourists not only see and watch agriculture farms, but they can also participate in the agricultural activities and experience farming. It also includes Indian farmers visiting faraway places like agricultural research centers, agricultural universities, and countries like Israel to learn advanced technology of agriculture. Next is sports tourism. Sports tourism was developed in 20th century. So many different sports events are organized at state, national and international level. Traveling to attend these events falls under sports tourism. Thousands of people travel to watch Olympic Games, Wimbledon and international cricket tournaments. Even in India, people travel either to participate or to watch events like Himalayan Car Rally, the wrestling competitions like Maharashtra Kesari, etc. All such travel encourages sports tourism. You know, people who enjoy traveling always look out for an occasion or a reason to do it. Today, we have many such reasons that will promote tourism. There are film festivals, various types of seminars and conferences, book exhibitions, international book exhibitions. People like visiting several places to attend these events. For example, the literature enthusiasts in Maharashtra travel every year to attend Pan Indian Marathi Literary Convention, popularly known as Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan. The last type of tourism mentioned in the textbook is religious tourism. Children, please note, it is mentioned separately on page 54 in a green box under the heading You Would Like to Know This. Many times, people like to visit places associated with their religious or mythological traditions. For example, places like Tirupati, Shirdi, Golden Temple in Punjab, Chardham Yatras attract a large number of people from all over the world. This gives rise to religious tourism. We can say that this is the oldest form of tourism because historical records tell us that Ahilyabai Holkar had spent her personal funds to provide good amenities on the pilgrim routes like Chardham Yatras and Bara Jyotirlingas. Have you heard about heritage walks? Heritage Walk is a guided tour that covers some of the oldest heritage monuments in the city. In heritage walks are also becoming very popular. One can experience the thrill of being a part of history by participating in heritage walks. The heritage walk organized in the city of Ahmedabad is well known. Even in the cities of Mumbai and Pune, such walks are organized regularly. Heritage walks can encourage people to support projects like conservation and preservation of historical monuments, to collect authentic information about them and to publish it through various media and thus attract more tourists to the city. Not just old historical buildings, but also the residences of renowned citizens like literary experts, the popular artists are also part of the heritage. In some cities, blue plaques with the names and relevant information of such citizens are placed on their residences as a part of heritage schemes. People can visit these residences during heritage walks. All this, through all this, you will realize our country is very rich with historical sites dating to ancient, medieval, and modern period. It is also blessed with abundance of nature. Heritage in our country is divided into natural heritage and cultural or man made heritage. There are heritage sites in India which are acclaimed globally, such as Taj Mahal at Agra, Jantar Mantar Observatory at Jaipur, the rock cut caves at Ajanta and Verud, Gharapuri or Elephanta caves. Kas Plateau in Maharashtra, located in the Western Ghats, is a world renowned natural heritage site. Foreign tourists come in large numbers to visit these heritage sites in our country. It makes us feel very proud when an Indian heritage site is declared as a World Heritage Site. But many times when we visit such places, we feel very disappointed. Do you know why? When we go there, we see people have written their names, drawn pictures on the walls of these heritage monuments. People also litter the heritage sites with plastic bottles and food packets. Vandalizing the heritage site affects our image as a nation. Each of us, therefore, need to make a conscious effort to maintain the cleanliness of heritage site. We cannot always blame the government or the authorities. We should not do anything that will result in vandalizing of the historical sites. We will stop here today and continue the remaining lesson in the next module.